Drift Games is moving, we're going to another continent, and I'm letting you know all the secrets behind the scenes in this video. Let's go. What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. A little bit of a different format for you, trying to be super transparent and open with all of you guys who've been watching the channel, whether you're a new subscriber or you've been along from the start. I like to be open every now and again and let you guys know what I'm thinking, where the channel is going, what the plans are, and what's going on behind the scenes. And as you guys will have seen from the thumbnail, we are going to announce some big stuff in this video. We are moving, we got a new home, and we're going to another continent, but I'll get to all that later in the video. What I thought would be fun in this video is to kind of show you behind the scenes, the boring stuff of what I do every single day. It's not all car builds and traveling. That does take up some of my job, and I absolutely love my job. And they say if you love your job, you never work a day in your life. And I actually believe that. I think every day I wake up, I absolutely love doing this, but it's tough to keep it going all the time. We've had to make some big risks, and we have to do that based on the fact that we believe we can grow Drift Games and make it a self-sustaining platform, which at the moment it certainly is not. So the reality is that I've got to do a lot of work outside of Drift Games to make sure that Drift Games has enough money to survive, and that's what a lot of the team do. Drift Games YouTube channel takes up about 30-40% of our time, and the rest is put into many other things and many other business interests. Like, we have a Loud by Design media company that does digital marketing and graphic design. We do all that stuff, and web design. We also have events company which is called Zegan Promotions, which we do 26 events a year, as I mentioned, and that's a lot of work and a lot of time. What's crazy about my day is it usually doesn't start in the present, it starts in the future. So all of these events that we're running for 2023, I'm working on those months and months in advance to make sure everything is where it needs to be. And you can imagine with all those events in different countries, there's like hundreds of people I have to communicate with to make sure everything is on track. So that's what I do every morning. I come into my room, I take a break from the world, I do a catch up of maybe 2 hours on all the communication I need to do, all the emails, all the planning. This is where I'll start to put budgets together, I'll start to look into the future, make sure everything looks feasible down the line. When I feel like I've got everything answered to, I do what's called a call and return. In the morning, I send all the emails, and later today you'll see me chase back up on those emails and respond to them later tonight. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about, before we go to the office, a little private thought that I have. So we finished 2022 on an absolute high, had a crazy year, did amazing stuff. We loved every minute of it. We actually thought the channel was doing really well. We got to Christmas, we put out some end of year videos. They got like 350,000 views, which is crazy for our channel. But we head into 2023, and all the views drop and everything goes back to normal. And I can't decide if it's that we took a break and that hurt us on the algorithm, or maybe you guys just thought the content was quite boring and you didn't want to keep up with it. It's really tough for us to know what to do on YouTube, and no one ever has that golden answer for you. So I'm going to ask you guys in the comments below, let us know about the content so far this year. Were you dragged into those videos? Were you kind of jumping into a video every now and again? Are you watching all the videos? Is there something else you'd like us to do? The problem we have is that we don't have unlimited budgets. We don't play Forza in real life. We don't just buy cars for whatever money they are and put whatever engine we want for 100 grand in them. And also, we live in Ireland, so parts are slow to get. The builds we do take ages and time. Everything that we decide to build takes 15 times longer and costs 3 times as much, and it just is tough to do all those things at the same time. And we don't have the kind of funds to build 5 mad projects at the same time so we can jump between them. So in this video, I'm going to be doing what I usually do, taking a big risk because I want to drag more people in and entertain them with some crazy ideas. But I'll get to all that later on. Right now, gotta get these emails done, and then I gotta head to the office. So next up, I'm on my way to the office, which is about 40 minutes from my house, and this is one of my favorite parts of the day because I get to drive the Supra on windy country roads in Ireland, and it's absolutely perfect for that. We make our way to the office. We have an office in Mondello Park, if you're not from Ireland. That's the only racetrack, well, professional racetrack in the whole country, so that's where our office is, right in the middle of the action, and that's very much the engine room for Drift Games, where all the boys are there working day by day to keep the whole show on the road. Okay, so I've stopped into Mondello Park, as you guys can see. It's pretty quiet during the week. Not much happens here other than the weekends. Well, they have things going on, corporates and early drive, teaching people how to drive, and they have some track days here during the week, but mostly it's pretty quiet. It's not as exciting as you see it in the videos when there's always something going on. This is our office here. As you guys can see, it's private. So I'm gonna go in and catch up with the boys. Hello, friends.
Buongiorno.
Hello. Blaine doing what he always does, munching away. What have we got on our plate today?
Chicken and chorizo and baby potatoes.
Sounds delightful. So this is our office. Adam is here. Hello, Adam.
Hello.
Hello. And Keen is here. Hello.
Hello.
So this part of the day is usually coming to the office to have lots of meetings. So outside of making vlogs and doing up cars, which a lot of you guys will know us from, we do a lot of other stuff, which is like running events, a lot of events. So in 2023, I think I've calculated we have, I'm gonna let Adam O'Connor's face tell the story. I think we have 24 events we're running and another 10 that we're attending. Now that's 34 events. It's now February.
We killed 5 weekends. So
5 weekends are already gone.
Count them down. There's not that many left.
We don't have to think about it, we'll just blindly go ahead. But anyway, what the boys do here a lot of the time is the stuff that makes those events happen. So obviously every event needs planning, insurance, marketing, meeting with the staff, the attractions, formats, scheduling, websites, tickets, Keen's list of stuff that I always forget, but there's a lot more than that, Keen, isn't there?
The list goes on and on and on and on. It's down here somewhere.
Yeah. So we do, that's where all those events are obviously months of planning. For example, something like, you know, Drift Masters or a Jap Fest or Drift Games Bash or an LZ event, they take a lot of planning in advance. So we're kind of doing all that at this time of the year. So Blaine has been working this week on launch videos for Drift Masters. Adam is currently in the middle of probably going through a list that I gave. Are you going through a bash?
Bash posters. I've already went through the car list. That's what we redid the bash posters for.
Yeah, so basically when it comes to a lot of the cars, we obviously have to do budgets and stuff, and obviously our traveling as well. So what Adam will do a lot of work is the groundwork. So for example, if we're going on a trip, there's flights, there's accommodations, there's tons and tons of stuff, rental cars, there's are we shipping cars there, are we leaving cars there, are we renting cars, all that stuff Adam kind of goes through. And
long list of your car ideas.
I'm not going too close to that, see what we're doing, but there's quite a bit there. So that was just me yesterday telling you what we needed to do.
You just
right?
had a brain fart.
Yeah, we were in the van yesterday. I just gave him that list. So Adam's now obviously ordering stuff and all that kind of stuff as well. Over here we have all of our merchandise, as you guys can see, in these boxes, and all very nicely organized up on the wall. This is our packing station here at the minute, and my fiance Jess comes in and helps us when we're getting really busy, and we all kind of throw in on the merchandise. Right now we have a sale on the website. Everything is on sale. Is everything on sale, Keen?
Everything's on sale. Everything that's left is on sale.
Everything that's left is on sale. What we'll do here is we'll generally have meetings. We'll talk with because obviously we do a lot of videos and events. Events take up a lot of our time because obviously we're an events company primarily. Secondly, we do a lot of media marketing for other third-party companies, like we do their digital marketing, stuff like that. That's our Loud by Design part of the company. So we'll go through all the meetings on that, and that's generally what I'll do here. So I'm going to turn the camera off because obviously a lot of this is confidential. Go through all the meetings with the boys, catch up on everything, and then head on to the next spot. So back on the road, back on the windy road from Mondello Park to our Drift Games shed, which is another, let's say 20 minutes from Mondello Park. Today is a non-shoot day, and we call non-shoot days because we're not shooting an actual video. Well, I'm shooting a video technically, so that's a lie, but Josh is actually on an edit day, but I'm meeting him at the shed today to go through some future plans, to talk about some of the projects upcoming, go through some budgets, put some time frames on things. So I'm going to meet him there, and I also want to show him that new SR20 we bought. Alright, so we're at the shed. You guys know the shed from all the videos, and Josh is here.
Hello.
Hello, Josh.
You brought me some goodies.
I brought you a present in the back of the van. This is your first time seeing the old power unit for the S14. There she is in all her glory.
God's mouth, as they say.
God's engine. We've plenty of God's engines here. A very holy place now, the Drift Games garage.
Got no holy.
Josh is here. He's going through some stuff for the S14. We'll talk about that in a sec, but we have to film something for an announcement for an event I'm going to very soon. So let's get to that. So as you can see, the boys have been busy. Engines out, cars being prepared for future videos. We obviously have to order lots of parts, lots of different things going on. We have all of these cars to be finished because they're all moving. We'll get to that later, I promise you in this video, we'll get to that later. I have to explain that all to you. But first, we got a very exciting announcement that I need to film today, which is going out on a channel on the other side of the world. So I have all the information from this event, and I'm trying to memorize it to do it all in one shot, which is quite tricky. So let's see if we can get this done in one go.
3, 2,
What's up guys, Dave from Drift Games here, and I'm very excited to announce that the Drift Games crew are going to Australia for the first ever time on February 24th to the Keep It Read Battle Royal Round 1 in Calder Park Raceway in Australia. It's going to be an amazing day. The show kicks off at 11 AM till 11 PM. They've got food trucks, car show, they've got a top 16. I'm going to be driving in the event and doing a meet and greet. It's going to be a wild event. We are so pumped to go to Australia and sample the car scene there for the very first time. I know our minds are going to be blown. We've heard so many good things about these events, so we hope you guys are going to be there to check it out. I can't wait to see all of you there.
Not gonna lie, that was first take.
First take. We don't have time for 2 takes in Drift Game.
Let's move on.
Alright, so we got the little advert for the Keep It Read Battle Royal. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to Australia to drive a car in Australia. It's gonna be wild. That's happening at the end of February. Definitely super pumped about it. Thank you to Darren and all the crew for inviting me out. We're gonna be definitely bringing the cameras along for that. But the reason you're hearing this video is because we said, probably in the thumbnail, that we were gonna talk about the compound, talk about moving, talk about big changes at Drift Games. That is all happening. This is not theory. We have taken the keys to a new premises, but I'm gonna sit down and explain to you how we got to this point. All right, boys and girls, I'm using a crashed GT86 as a tripod. Very ingenious of me. So we need to talk about what we're doing in the future. So we have lots of options here because, well, we have lots of options and we don't have lots of options. I'm being very honest in this video because I'm not using too much of my presenter Dave. I'm just gonna kind of give you my train of thought on things. So we've had some big successes on YouTube. We've had some big videos with big views, and we've also had some big failures where we didn't get the views that we thought about. A lot of the problems we have is the cost. So obviously to do videos and to have a title for a video, you gotta be doing cars, you gotta be building something, and every single video has to have some sort of hook, or you've gotta be constantly at something, which costs a lot of money, as you guys can imagine. Like right now, this video you're watching will probably make us about €100 in ad revenue, which sounds not a lot, which a lot of you guys think, oh, YouTubers, they all have loads of money. And don't get me wrong, some do. We make about $2,000 a month maybe on average on YouTube, which sounds like a lot, but as you can imagine, with all the editing, the videography, the travel, the transport, the insurances, the parts, that $2,000 is gone in probably a couple of days of just running the channel or making these videos. We have enough resources and a little bit of money to make car content, but we don't have enough money to build 4-rotor vans and 17K24 turbos because the cost of those things are so expensive. The other problem with building those projects is if you decide to build a 4-rotor whatever, it's probably going to take you in Ireland 2 years to build that car, which means we would have to do other content. We would have a video every 3-4 months of progress, so it just doesn't work for us. We don't have the ability to build 10 cars at the same time, so we kind of try and focus on building cars that we like and we afford and we find fun with, which doesn't always get the most clickable title, which means everybody watches our videos. So we decided to switch things up a little bit for this year. We are going to finish all of these cars because we love all these cars, we like all these cars, and we're not going to buy and sell too many cars because we feel we need a new video. So that was always happening a lot with us. We would get to a point with a car, it would slow down, we couldn't get the parts, we'd panic sell the car because we couldn't make videos out of it, and then we had to buy another car immediately to try and get another catchy title. And it's kind of a false reality, which we don't want to do anymore because it's not really who we are or what we want to achieve. What we want to do is something that people do find interesting and exciting, but with a bit of affordability along the way. And the problem is that we've had so many decisions over the last year when it comes to so much stuff that we're like, we're not really getting what we want out of this. And maybe you guys watching at home aren't getting what you want out of this. We talked about a compound at the start of last year. It's almost 13 months since we announced that we wanted to build a compound. Adam LZ came on board, helped us get over 100,000 subscribers. We had the money, we had the investors, we had the land, we had everything. Happy days. Then the reality kicked in, which is Ireland. Everything is slow, everything is really drawn out. Obviously, if you're trying to do something with public access, with motorsport, nobody wants you to build it. Nobody except for the car enthusiasts, which make up a tiny margin of the amount of people in Ireland. And that's what we've been coming up against for the last year. So, start of this year, we came out with our videos that said we have another delay. Wastewater management, public access, planning. And like, what we're really dealing with here is probably another 12-month wait, which, to be honest, we're bored of now. I think you guys are bored of it. We don't want to wait anymore because it's just taken us so long to do all the work we've done, and it's kind of coming to nothing. And it's not really our fault, but at the same time, you guys are along for the ride and you want to see progress. So how do we do that? Well, what you guys want and what we want is something to be excited about, something that we can all sit down and go, this is different, this is new, we're pumped on it, you're pumped on it, and the content makes itself. It's super interesting. So what we've had to make the hard decision on is sort of shelving the compound idea for a little while because it's taken so long, not giving up on it, keeping it moving in the background, but we can't wait another 12 months. We need to expand. We're totally at the edge of what we can do here. I think every single place in this garage is taken up, and we have 4 cars that are not even in this garage right now being worked on elsewhere. If they all came back, we're just leaving cars outside. We can't work on anything because there's cars on top of cars. It just doesn't work. We need a bigger space. So coincidentally, I had a conversation with somebody who may have found us something that would work for us. The question is, it's a huge risk. Obviously, for us to go to a huge new area that we can do whatever we want in is going to cost a lot of money we don't have right now. We're going to have to get a bank loan to try and fund that. We're going to have to fit it out, but we want to do something that no one has ever done in the world before, because I'm sure you guys are thinking they're going to get a big unit, they're going to just put some ramps in it and put their cars in it in an office and that'll be that. That is not what I want to do. I want to do something that no one has ever done before. It's a stupid idea that a 15-year-old me would say is even stupid, but we have agreed in principle a lease for a new place. We won't be getting into that place until April, simply because they have a lot of demolition to do and a lot of other stuff to get it ready for us, to give us that blank slate. We've had a builder in to look at what we want to build within it, and it all looks like it's going to come off. In fact, I'm guaranteeing you it's all going to come off, because we don't have to build something from scratch. We're reusing or repurposing something that already exists. We may lose the track element, and we still will work on that externally, but we will gain what we wanted, which was our own space, our own brand, somewhere we can bring fans, somewhere we can interact with the car community. And to be honest with you, it would be much easier and cheaper to build it anywhere else in the world, but we wanted to do something this year for the Irish car community that was exciting, that was new, that was something for them, because everything in Ireland is kind of, it has been quite rinse and repeat for quite some time now, especially since COVID's finished and everything. A lot of car shows, a lot of events, but it's all kind of the same stuff. We wanted to do something that inspired people, that maybe gave a little bit of a spark to the car community here, and it's going to be a big risk, which we will need all the support from our sponsors, from all of you guys at home, for the people buying the merch and all that good stuff, to get us across the line on it. I've decided to pull the trigger on it because it excites me to my core, to my bones. It's the most exciting thing I've ever done. And we've tons of other announcements coming this year with events across the globe and Europe and everywhere else. But this is one thing that we ourselves are doing for the first time. It's all going to be documented on video, and we're really excited about it. So if you guys wonder why for the next couple of weeks we're trying to get all of these cars finished and ready in the content, that's the reason. We want to move them to a new place, but we want to move them there working, finished and driving and legal on the road, because that's very important to the overall plan of the channel. So while the content may be scattered and all over the place in the meantime, getting bits here and gets bits there, unfortunately that's just the way we have to film it, because parts don't all just land the same time we want them to. All these cars have different little quirks and problems that take us time to resolve, especially being in Ireland, on an island that we have to ship everything into to fix them, and with customs and the length of delays on parts and everything and supplies, it just takes a long time. But we're going to make very interesting content. We're going to finish all these cars the way they should have been finished the first time. We're going to finish some of them and build them that we've never built them in that way before, and we're going to be moving to a new premises, and that's all coming very soon. I'm pumped on it. I hope you guys are pumped on it. This isn't a false promise. I always pull through on this stuff, but it's just the Irish government pulling against us on the original idea, but we're making an even better one to back it up, and that's going to be revealed very soon in the videos, and we'll be giving you a couple of clues along the way. Alright, so that's my little bit of news for the time being, but the day doesn't end there. Josh and I are going to spend a little bit of time, because we're not filming today, so sometimes we'll come to the shed for an hour or so just to go through plans for the next couple of weeks, what videos we're going to be filming, what parts we need to order. This is just to give you a reality of this, of all of the cars we have, just to finish them, get them road legal and get them just moving under their own weight and working correctly. That's going to cost about 70 grand, like 70,000 euro. That's not to get any more cars or change anything. That's just to finish everything we have and get all of our 5 drift cars ready for the season. So it's super expensive and labor intensive and takes some time. The boys are well able for it, and we're going to be digging into that from the next video after this. But for now, we've done all of our planning. We've got all that sussed. Me and Josh have got a good plan. I think a good plan, Josh.
Achievable plan.
It's an achievable plan, but it's also a lot of work, and there's a lot of cars and a lot of parts, but I'm trusting the boys that we'll all come together, and Wayne and everybody else. Just a quick caveat as well, that we aren't leaving Wayne's when we're going somewhere else. We're keeping the Drift Game shed. I just thought I'd mention that as well. This will now become our Drift HQ for all of our drift cars and all of our workshop, but all the other cars are going somewhere else. But we'll explain that, as I said, in future videos. So me and Josh are going to have a couple of conversations off camera. We got to sort a few bits and pieces out, put some schedules together, because obviously there's a bit of planning that goes into all this. Can't just wake up every day and the parts will be randomly there for the video. We got to plan that ahead of time. So we've got a lot of stuff, including Crash GT86s and all sorts of stuff that we're doing on the channel, S14 with engines and all sorts of drift stuff, and Josh's car is half put back together, and there's a ton of stuff to do. But yeah, we're getting towards it now, and we're trying to make it as streamlined as we can. Alright guys, we finish up where we started, back in the office. So when I finish up at the shed, or we're filming, or we're traveling, or we're doing all the meetings and all that stuff throughout the day, if I'm at home and I'm not abroad, which I was 5 months of 2022, when this is much more difficult, I head back to the office in the evening and I basically respond to all of those emails that I sent in the morning, which means the cycle continues. One crazy thing about me is that I get most of my work done from about 10 p.m. at night to 2 a.m. in the morning. I've never gone to bed before 2 a.m. in the morning, I think, in the last couple of years, and that's my quiet time. Everything slows down, the phone stops blowing up, people start bringing me, and everything just gets much calmer. And when it's calm and quiet, I can get back to all these emails, but also I can start creating new ideas. I can start putting together some stuff that you might be rubbish. Most of the ideas that you've seen on the channel are 1% of another 99 ideas that never happened. But that's what I do. I kind of just play with things and go on the internet and try and find inspiration and find who's inspiring me at that time and try and put all that together. So it's a fairly continuous process. I absolutely love it. I'm obsessed with trying to make Drift Games a success, as you guys know, and a successful, sustainable YouTube channel. It's really stressful. It's hard on all of us. We get very down when the views aren't there. So as I said at the start of the video, make sure to comment below any questions you have or what you'd like to see different on the channel. We generally hear everyone say it's great, everything's great, but it doesn't really help us because we don't know why we don't get the views. So maybe we're boring people, maybe the projects are boring, maybe this new idea has excited your interest, and maybe this is the new direction we go with doing bigger and bolder things into the future and taking bigger risks, even though that's super scary. Next video, we'll be back to normal, back in the shed, back on the projects. We've got a ton of cars to finish before we go on the big move. So thanks for watching this random video that I put together. Hope you guys enjoyed it, gave you a little bit of insight into the channel, and thank you guys for supporting us. Anyone who's bought some merchandise from us, you guys are the lifeblood of this channel, and we appreciate every single one of you, and you have made all of this possible, which means that we appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.